operation. She'll sometimes make a couple of appearances here and there, but more likely than not, she's the one that is pulling the strings behind the camera.
Keeping us straight.
Yeah, well, I mean, the last time we had her on with us, she kind of led me and Chungus astray, but hopefully it'll be a little bit different now. Uh, to those who are watching us on YouTube, thank you. We really do appreciate it. If you are watching us on other channels, please go to our YouTube channel, like us on YouTube, follow, hit that bell notification if you really enjoy our content, so you can see every single time we post or when we go live. Um, if you're watching us on our individual channels today, I don't have my channels going. We're doing some testing on some stuff, and I pulled the short end of the straw. However,
Welcome to the new studio, boys.
I was getting there. Hold on. Oh, you've already put it on here. Sorry, I had my attention focused on two different things. Um, if you're watching us on Facebook, you just saw a notification that we went live on Godfather's stuff. We need how many did we need, guys? What, 8 more followers
Yeah,
before
we
we can
need
go?
8. We're down to our last 8 people. Seriously, only 8. 8's all we need.
Before we can start going live on the Nomad Gamers page on Facebook.
Now,
Hey, who's the one doing the intro here?
go ahead.
Okay. If you really like our content, please share it with others. That's the only way we're going to get these 8 people down. We can try to post and try to interact as much as we can, but without your help, we cannot reach those final 8. So please, 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 if you are seeing this, if somebody showed you this, and if you enjoy the content, please hit that follow, please hit that like, so we can finally start going live on our Facebook instead of through our individual channels. But, well, and Sweet Kitty just jumped the gun on this, but welcome to the new studio. I mean, it's a little, we're still kind of in the working process, but as you know, last Saturday we didn't go live. We were way too busy getting the final touches on this studio done. So that way, yours truly and Godfather could be moved in to the studio. I also want to give a special thanks to Sweet Kitty for coming out helping when she did, because that was at the very end of it. It was backbreaking for both.
Well, I mean, let's face it. We started working out in the Shire to finish it at 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning last Saturday. We did not put anything down until about 9 o'clock that night. And the Shire, the studio part of the Shire, wasn't even 100%. We wanted to go live today at noon, like we always do. However, we had to put curtains up and get lighting just right before we could go live. And yeah, that took a little
Well,
extra
and
time that I wasn't expecting.
the lighting's also on back order, so we aren't exactly working with the lights that will be eventually working. There's still a lot more work to be done out there, but it is better than what we've been dealing with. I mean, you can hear a little bit of an echo that will eventually go away, but we wanted to get on and show you all of our hard work. And one of the reasons why I am separate from them is if we tried to put 3 people in there with sound checks and everything else, it just wasn't going to work. This was kind of a last minute addition, and we're like, nah, you know what? I'm just going to go into my office and do it there.
Yeah, and with Zanar Crush Rider dropping, uh, it's not even really personal business. I can make a joke about this, and he'll actually laugh about it. He played way too much WoW. Let's just call a spade a spade. He had way too much World of Warcraft, and his computer could not hold up to the amount of gaming that Zanar Crush Rider was doing. So Zanar Crush Rider is working real hard right now to troubleshoot his PC and get it back up and running. And I know it's killing him not to be able to be on the Nomad Gamers this morning. So what is our first topic? I'm done talking about the Shire and the studio.
We're going to start with this one just because we'll get this one done and out of the way because it has to do with prices and stuff. So the 2 terabyte Xbox Series X that has come out, kind of the competitor to the PS4, the PS5 Pro, I'm sorry, the PS5 Pro. The 2 terabyte Xbox Series X price has raised up to, I believe, hold on. I got way too many things open at once.
You don't know?
I got way too many things open up at once. The 2 terabyte Xbox will now be $799. That is $50 more than the PS5 Pro.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so my question is what's a basic Xbox? How much is it?
A basic Xbox looking at 256 gigabytes of storage, I believe, or no, it's like
It's roughly $400.
no, I don't even think that's the base Xbox. I think the base Xbox is the 500 gigabyte storage, something like that. It's not a lot of storage.
Okay.
Well,
And if I remember correctly, pretty much everything can run a external hard drive. Am I wrong?
Yeah, but the only thing with running external hard drive, and this goes for both, well, it just goes for Xbox because you can do it on PlayStation. There are certain games that if you put on the external storage, you have to keep flip-flopping back and forth between the external and the internal. So
Yep.
it
You know,
is a very
it's
annoying.
huge.
It is a very annoying process when you're trying to like, let's say, because let's just be honest here. Godfather and I, we play on the same Xbox. Godfather, before he got his laptop, I'm so thankful he got his laptop. Starfield was over 100 gigs. You know, during the time that he wanted to play Starfield, I was in a big Halo Infinite kick. That took up almost all the storage. So if I wanted to play something else, like let's say I wanted, because College Football 25 came, or 26, 20, 25. College Football 25 came out. I couldn't have College Football 25, Halo Infinite, and Starfield all on the same internal storage, so one of them had to get kicked off to the external. And I had to sit there and juggle between the games I wanted to play because of how little internal storage was.
Well, you hit on a topic that Crust Rider and myself hit on both Talking Tuesday and Thirsty Thursday intermittently in the last, I don't know, 3 weeks, is that the games are getting bigger and the storage spaces on the traditional consoles are relatively staying the same. Now you get the Xbox coming out with 2 terabytes, which they know is going to be able to house probably rough estimate here 4
10
maybe
games.
5 games,
10
maybe
games. Tops.
depending on which games
Mm-hmm.
you're playing at that time. You're not going to be able to have Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead, Starfield, Halo Infinite. You're not going to be able to have all of those on your internal storage. However, like Crest Rider and myself were talking about was maybe, and I'm not a big conspiracy fan, but these games are getting bigger and they know that the consoles are only staying at a certain point. So what if you know, are they making them bigger to where it's almost
The
like an
problem
exclusivity?
the
Like,
problem isn't necessarily that they're making them bigger for exclusivity or to sell more consoles or anything like that. That's not the problem. The problem is with the bigger consoles is they don't have to optimize the games anymore. So they don't have to sit there and be like, "Oh, this is code we don't need," and take it out.
Well,
Or they don't have to do that anymore.
Well, and that's the big problem is, and I agree with Godfather when it comes to talking about exclusivity, trying to push out other games so one game takes up the entire console. So they're like, I can't play any other game because I can only play this game. Call of Duty,
Exactly.
Call of Duty
Hmm.
was sitting at roughly like 168, 200 gigabytes of storage. They were able to cut out 100 gigabytes of that storage. And so now it's, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's,
Well, and the problem, and with all of this, the problem still remains is developers are releasing unfinished games. How many times do you have to download a patch the minute that you go to start a brand new game?
yeah, and I see your point
So,
there, but you get patches throughout the entire game's life
well,
cycle.
well, hold on just a
well,
second.
I understand. But if you sat there and you finished the game, because there's literally no reason. If you went through and alpha tested, beta tested, did all of this stuff appropriately, deleted the code that didn't need to be there, optimized out the game, if you followed the standard rules of coding, you would be able to release a game finished. I mean, that's the whole problem, is they are not releasing finished games anymore.
Well,
And they haven't been for probably 15 years.
Hold on, Fireball. Hold on. Okay, so we are. How long has Grand Theft Auto 5 been out? Roughly 12, 13 years now.
something like I think November 13th, that it'll be
Okay, so
12 years.
Grand Theft Auto 5, and this is strictly my opinion, and I'm sure Fireball's going to start nodding his head here in a minute, and so will Sweet Kitty Pie. However, Grand Theft Auto 5 was the start of the live game era.
Live service game, yeah.
Well, live game era. It games are not going to come out fully polished and fully done.
I
The
want to add a
days
caveat to what you
the
said.
the days
What you
hold
said.
on,
The
hold on,
live game era on console.
hold
Because
on.
the live game era on PC has been going on for a while.
Well, yes, PC has been going on for a long time, and everybody knows that when it comes to live
service game on console.
whatever,
On console. It was beginning on console.
tomato doesn't matter. However, I say it. World of Warcraft is the granddaddy of that from the PC. They've been doing it the best, the longest. They are hands down the
20
king
years.
when it comes to this type of service. Now, and I fully believe this happened, is back in 13 when Rockstar was bringing out Grand Theft Auto 5 and they decided to have the online service. They looked at what Blizzard was doing and they started copying it. And then Bethesda figured it out. And then Ubisoft figured it out. And then Square Enix for Final Fantasy. They figured it out. So I think the days of having a game where you start at level one, let's go with Super Mario Brothers, one dash one, and the game ends at 8-4. I think those days are over.
Well, yeah, and
You have end game
There's
content.
always going to be there's always
But-
going to be new end game content, because
Yeah.
that's the way that we have gone now, and that is the reason why Grand Theft Auto has been able to survive as long as it has.
well, and this is we're getting a little.
I
bit
need
off,
to step away for a second.
We're getting a little bit off topic.
No, we're not.
Talking about just live service, because we originally we were talking about storage.
Camera.
We were talking about storage, okay? And we've gone on to live service.
But Fireball.
I have let you talk. Please
but
let me
Fireball. Hold on. They're one and the same. Think about that. They're one and the same.
Talking
storage and live service are one and the same. And that's the way you got to look at it.
Godfather. The point I'm trying to make, and please, I let you talk.
It might be a wrong point, but it's a point.
We were talking about launch. We're not talking about the fact that you get a DLC to come out, and then they put in this DLC, and then 4 or 5 bugs come along with it. So then they have to make patches for that, and then those patches make different bugs. And the thing is they aren't a part of reason why games are getting so big is because these patches they keep and these updates and these DLCs they put in this DLC. There are 4 or 5 bugs. They go to try to patch those, or they try to fix those bugs or patch.
Okay.
And then
I get what you're saying. I really do. But where you're failing to understand that is how these two marry together. Is no matter if it's a DLC and no matter if it's a patch, the size of the game is getting humongous.
It is, and that's the
consoles.
It's not just the launch,
and the consoles are not keeping up.
Right, and I let you and Sweet Kitty go on.
Then spit it.
I'm trying to.
No, you're not. You're beating around the damn bush. Spit it.
You've got DLC, and this is going on. You guys know my favorite game is Helldivers, and this is just a big thing we had going on with Helldivers with the Rupture Strike. They dropped the DLC, and then they went to patch that, and they caused an even bigger bug with it. So now they had to patch that. You know, when they're dropping DLCs as well, these DLCs aren't necessarily finished. I don't know. I believe Helldivers has a beta for has a like a test server for these updates and stuff. But the thing is they aren't doing quality control updates with it. You get a game, a half-baked game that comes out on launch. They then have to take the time and the storage to then make these patches and put these patches into the game, which is making the game bigger. And then you got a DLC that drops, let's say you get a 30 gig DLC that comes out.
Well,
And then that DLC comes out very buggy. That was a half baked DLC, especially when we saw with GTA 5.
okay, hold on. You're putting a lot in there. You're packing a whole lot. I agree with everything you said. I do. However, let's let's start unpacking some of this. You're putting a lot in there.
I'm getting to my point. Hold on. So
Long-winded point, but point.
So when you get all this stuff, and talking about what Sweet Kitty was talking about, is you get you get all this just this giant chunk of big gigabytes, especially with like something like with Call of Duty getting rid of 100 gigabytes of that. You got so many patches, so many DLCs, so many more patches. Still got
Yep.
the base game. Then you got this big crap sandwich that is should have been what was fully released in the first place.
Well, this ties into something else too. Maybe some of this is coming from all the layoffs.
I mean, again,
On top of that, the way that the gaming industry is going today, this is the norm.
yeah,
We are never, ever, ever,
The only way we change things is if if like
not even that,
half the community decides they want that change.
not
That's the only
even,
way it's going to change.
not even that. We're not going to see that again.
but here's the
You're not going to see a polished product again. And there's reasons why.
okay, but I will also say, we're talking about we're not going to get fully polished games at launch. I agree with you on that, but you're also looking at um two different entities when it comes to AAA gaming and stuff like that. Oh, there's the dog. If you look at, and I'm going to do a big comparison here, and of course, Godfather's going to roll his eyes when I say this.
Probably.
Look at the comparison between Helldivers and Call of Duty. You've got a AAA gaming company that releases this dog pile of crap of a game. They don't listen to their players. They don't, and they're pretty much there just to go. Here's the same game for the last 3 years. Give me your money. As if you're looking at the developers of Arrowhead Studios, which is, I believe, that they might not, they may be a single A gaming company or they're an indie game company. But you got uh, developers at Arrowhead who will sit there, listen to their community, be like, "Hey, somebody puts something in their Reddit saying, hey, there's this bug that is here. Can you guys please fix it?" And
Won't
then
last long.
yeah, it won't last long.
No, not the patch. I'm not talking about the patch. I'm talking about the developer listening to their gamers. And to what Sweet Kitty Pie was saying, she's gonna agree
I
with me
don't
when I
think
say
that
this. Is about 10, 15 years ago, Blizzard went through this. Okay. At the very beginning, they were listening to their players. They had BlizzCon. Okay. BlizzCon was a big time when they heard from the players.
yeah.
Then Blizzard became bloated. They came the big brother, the big boy. They failed to listen to their players. And if you look during that time frame, and Sweet Katie and myself are two prime examples of this, everything went downhill. And it got to such a point that Blizzard figured out, oh, wait, we are going to lose our status. We're going to lose this game if we continue to go down this road.
But you said,
And then they rebounded. They started listening to their players. Every game company does this.
So
Activision does it.
actually,
Hold on, hold on,
so
please. You said the exact thing that I wanted you to say when you said that. The difference between a game like Call of Duty and a game like Helldivers is when Blizzard was listening to their community, they were a small time company. As
No, they
soon
weren't.
as they
They were huge.
hold on, hold on,
no, when they were listening, it might have been
they were smaller than where they were. They were
three X packs, three. I think they stopped listening.
Mr. Pandaria.
No, no. Mr. Pandaria was. They thought what they were doing was good. It was just. It was way outside the realm of what they had been putting out, and that's what they wanted to do, and that's what they built it on, and that's what the community actually asked for in a sense. In a sense.
My point is this.
but
I'll
when
make
they,
it very crisp. Every company that starts out, they listen to their fans, they listen to their gamers. There is a certain point where the company comes to a crossroads where they can continue to listen to their fans or they could do their own thing. Call of Duty is at that point right now. If they continue down the path that they are going, they're going to get spanked by Battlefield. They're going to get spanked for probably the next 2 years, and then they're whoa, something just happened with Fireball.
I just launched. It just launched an automatic update for me. Tell her I'll
Oh,
be
okay.
back in just a second.
Fireball will be back in just a minute. He's having some technical difficulties, but my point still stands. Of once they get down that road far enough, and they have a convergence of players who love the franchise, don't like the direction, and they're going to Battlefield, is Call of Duty gonna respond? That's the question.
So,
Okay.
but the problem is I think COD games have gotten such a bad rap for so long. The reason why COD games have stayed relevant is they have picked the right people, the right influencers, the right gamers. They have like the tournaments, and you got to play. I mean, everybody thought Fortnite was going to take them down. Everybody thinks Helldivers is going to take them down. Everybody's now thinking Battlefield's going to take them down.
Oh,
I
Battlefield
mean,
can
if
mess them up.
if
So
anybody would have put the biggest hit onto Call of Duty, it would have been Fortnite. But Fortnite, the one thing that Fortnite did is it took away the squeakers out of COD, which has brought in a lot more of the older players back to COD to get away from the squeakers on
hold
Fortnite.
on. So here's the thing, and I've got a lot to kind of unpack with this. So the thing is it was the original battle between for Call of Duty. It was between Battlefield and Call of Duty.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No,
Battlefield, Call of Duty, Medal of Honor.
no. You better go back further than that, son.
I'm talking about where I grew up at.
Okay, well, when you say a statement like that,
Because
it's
hold on,
not. Hold on, Fireball. When you say a statement like that, it is not from when you grew up. The original
Yeah, you
fight.
have to look at the original fight.
The original fight was between Medal of Honor and Call of
Yeah.
Duty.
Call of Duty, and I'll look up the statistics if I have to. Call of Duty did not become mainstream until 2006, 2007 with Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Okay, I'm not disputing that.
And around the same time, you had Medal of Honor.
No, you didn't.
Yes, you did.
They were gone by then.
No, they were not.
They were in very steep decline. They weren't. They weren't relevant.
They were still there.
They
and
weren't
you
relevant.
had Battlefield come out with, it was either Bad Company 1 or Bad Company 2. And everybody was looking at between Battlefield and Call of Duty from 2006 or 2007 moving on. And then you had Black Ops come out, and with Black Ops came Battlefield 3. That was a big matchup that day. You didn't
Okay.
hear about Medal of Honor. Then you had 2010 or 2012,
Oh my God!
somewhere.
Fireball.
You're going off the rails.
The original fight was between 3 games. Okay.
And I went to say that, and you were like, no. Because I said first I said Call of Duty and Battlefield, and then you were like, no. And I was like, oh,
Hey,
hold
that's
on.
enough. Hey, no, stop. You two are doing nothing but fighting, and it's not worth it. So you two stop arguing.
I'm not
The
gonna argue.
original fights started long before that.
Yes.
You have to look back to when it came into. It doesn't matter when it came into mainstream. Matters when it was published.
Yes. And it was Battlefield, Medal of Honor, Call of Duty. And all three of them were freaking phenomenal. Absolutely off the rails for their time. Phenomenal. And what happened was Medal of Honor did not listen to the fans. They continued not to listen to the fans. I think they just brought out another game, but it's a little too late for them to do anything. Battlefield fell off the radar while Call of Duty soared. Now that Call of
Yep.
Duty is kind of stuttering, I do believe Battlefield is going to soar above them for a few until, and like I said before, Call
It's
of
an
Duty,
ebb and flow.
yeah, they're at a
It's an ebb and
crossroads.
flow.
Hey, what's the next
But
topic?
I
Because
mean,
we've been tearing
in
this
the
up.
beginning of all of that, it started out. I mean, you also forgot to put Nova Logic in there, the Delta
Yeah.
Force games.
Yep.
So I mean, Nova Logic had the best for a while. Then Call of Duty. Then I mean, it's an ebb and flow. Not
back,
everybody is going to have.
before we move on, going back to what I was saying though, is um you had that point where Blizzard did not, because we're going back, everything, all of this stemmed from World of Warcraft. We got way off topic. Looking at Blizzard when they were still paying attention to their fans, they did not hit that big status yet of I'm big dog, so I don't care. And what I was going to say
Oh
though,
no,
hold on,
that's when they hit it. That
hold
is
on.
when they hit it. They stopped listening. They stopped listening in Lich King. Lich King was the one that made them.
And I'm gonna bring this up because I learned about this actually not too long ago. So back when, and this might seem like it's gonna be off topic, but it's not. Back when the Ford Motor Company originally was starting to get very successful, Henry Ford wanted to take all his profits and move it and give it back to his workers, right? Their shareholders then sued the Ford Motor Company saying those need to be ours. You need to prioritize our profits. Don't be giving our profits back to the going back to the worker. So what did they and they won. They won their lawsuit
Giving
against
you a huge leash here.
they won their lawsuit against
Okay, so
so now looking forward, and this goes for very successful gaming companies like Activision and like Blizzard and like stuff like that. They are prioritizing their shareholders to try to make money instead of trying to give a
well, yeah,
quality game.
nobody's denying that. And
But you also have to look at what happened after that to Ford. Ford was pretty much the only car company ever. They were like the only place you could get a car.
Right.
So
okay,
as soon as they're doing that and they're now no longer showing brand loyalty, they get competition.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's the culture of business. You guys are getting
yep,
into the culture of
yeah,
business and everything that has to do
All
with
right.
that. And that I can deep dive on that for hours.
All
no,
right.
But
Well,
absolutely
that
not.
we're gonna move a little forward.
Good.
Because we spent so much time, I'm going to spitball at least something fast that we can talk about. This new Resident Evil movie. There's a new Resident Evil movie
Oh
coming out.
God, here we go.
The Resident Evil movies were pretty great. I mean, you had like four or five, because the first Resident Evil came out in what, 98,
Yep.
something like that, and they followed Alice, and then you had three or four, and then they stopped it. Well, I don't know what they're doing now because they ended the Alice series back in like 2015, something like that. But my thing that I'm trying to say though is they are not following the video
Godfather,
game.
you need to go that way.
They are
There
not
you go.
following the video games because Leon Kennedy, the main character from the video games, is not making an appearance in the new will not be in the new Resident Evil game
Well,
movies. So I don't know what they're going to be doing with it.
I've said this before. I'll say it again, and I will continue to say this. I'm tired of video games becoming a freaking movie. None of them have turned out worth a shit in my eyes. They made one about World of Warcraft. While it was okay, it was just okay. They've made.
How about that Fallout TV show?
Don't even get me started.
Hey, it's coming in December.
Yeah, another fucking train wreck. But
We'll finally get to see what happens.
Halo was an absolute train wreck.
Oh my god! Don't get me.
All of Super Mario Brothers, the movie.
Oh, I think they're coming out with another one.
Oh, shush for a second. Super Mario Brothers, the movie, was okay at best. It's entertaining. They didn't really vary too far off of the video game, so I give them a higher mark. Fallout, the TV show, there's stuff all over the place. Depends on who you talk to. Now,
I'm going to
Tomb
say
Raider.
this. I'm going to say this.
Tomb Raider's another one that was horrible.
There's a difference between a video game movie that was made for kids, i.e., the Minecraft movie or the Super Mario movie.
There is,
and then you've got actual TV show that was made for the adult and for the adult game.
Fallout was. I'll give them that. It was made for the adult version. I get it. But here's the thing, and I'm not even going to touch on that. Here's the thing. When it comes down to a video game becoming a movie or a TV show, they are damn near for whatever. And I said damn near because there's a few out there that people will argue that they're good. But for the majority of it, it's absolutely horrible.
Coming up soon. Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
That's going to be a good one. I already know because they did a good job with that.
Return to Silent Hill.
They're doing
the upcoming. They're doing Return to Silent Hill.
Oh, that might.
For what? For video games? Video games turning
These
into
are video games turning into movies. Yes.
Fuck this.
Yet to release.
No.
Mortal Kombat 2.
I'm not looking forward to that one.
Another untitled Resident Evil film.
That's the one I was just talking about.
Street Fighter.
No.
Sonic 4.
Absolutely.
Actually, that's one that was made. That's made for kids. That is a a video game movie that is
the ones that are made for kids. You can't judge if you take a 7-year-old to a video game movie and they absolutely adore it. Then that's the way it went.
Yeah,
I think Minecraft was really geared towards kids, but Minecraft had a lot of adult innuendos in it for the parents that just made it stupid. But then again, what were you? I mean, Harold and Kumar, the directors of Harold and Kumar, are the ones that put it together. What did you expect? Did you expect a Oscar-winning film from the makers of Harold and Kumar?
I will say this, and this is where the Godfather and I kind of butt heads when it comes to making media from video games. If you're going to make a video game based movie or a video game based TV show, follow the source material. Follow what came before.
Okay, but you guys are just, I mean, any type of adaptation, whether it's a video game adaptation or a novel adaptation, it's the same thing. Everybody wants the same thing. Follow the damn video game, follow the damn book. It doesn't matter. But these companies are like, no, I'm not going to follow the book. Like, I mean, you can tell what fandom I'm of clearly by just looking at my background for 30 seconds. I know that, I mean, are there things that I wish that were in the Harry Potter movies? Absolutely. But the one thing that you have to also understand is these movies are 1.5 hours to 2 hours long. You are wanting... You're wanting something that took you either like 3 days to read, like reading consistently, or 30 hours of video game time to get through the story, which, I mean, and it's telling a story. A video game is telling a story through a cinematic universe.
Right, and
no different No different than if a movie. So you were asking them, like these Resident Evil, you're wanting them to take all of these games and move them into a movie, and you want them to basically play out the game on the movie, but they have to fit it all into an hour and a half. So what are you going to get?
There is a difference between following the source material and creating their own adaptation.
Well, hold
on.
Oh Lord.
Like looking at The Last of Us season 1. Okay? They followed the first video game to a T. Were there some variations they had in it? Yes. Did it destroy the meaning behind the first game or the meaning behind the first series or the season? No. It was great. Everybody loved it. Everybody's like, yeah, bring season 2. We want to see if you're going to follow the source material as greatly as they did, then we want to see what happens in season 2. And then they brought season 2 out, and everybody hated it because they decided to wokeify it.
Here's the thing.
Hold on.
God damn.
And then you look at a piece of media that didn't follow source material directly. It followed the guidelines to source material, but it made up its own story, like the Fallout TV show when you're in Santa Monica. Completely different. There's no source material about what's going on out in Santa Monica other than the first Fallout game. But even then, it's not really touched on that much. You've got Shady Sands.
Oh my God! Keep going now. Okay, keep going.
But
I mean,
again, they're building on the world out in the West because we don't really have much for the West.
Right, we don't, and they have said this game is canon, or this movie is canon. So here's the question: do we have any idea what Fallout 5 is?
No. Nope.
Are they setting up Fallout 5 for LA?
Nope. I don't know.
I would highly.
All we know.
Are they setting up? You guys, especially Godfather, you are so close-minded on this. You don't understand it. You don't know where they're going, and you don't see an end point, so you don't like it.
No,
and
it has nothing to do with that.
Has everything to do about it.
It does not. Here is where I have a problem with Fallout. Now you got
Bitch, I've been married to you for 20 years. I know exactly what you're going on.
Now you got me going. Okay, so here's my problem with the Fallout.
Hold on real quick. This was supposed to be a quick point, so that way we could try to get through.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dumbass. You bring up adaptations and movies, and you think it's gonna be fast? What kind of stupid are you?
Okay, next point. There's a point in here that I'm really anxious for.
Okay, go Gosling.
No. What's next? I'm waiting for the next.
Nope, I'm not done yet. You guys decided to go off on your tangent.
Okay.
Also, with release date is the Legend of Zelda movie.
I would like to see that. If they follow the
I
source
think that
material,
might actually be pretty good.
If they follow the source material. If they make an Ocarina of Time movie, or they make a Breath of the Wild, I wouldn't say Breath of the Wild, that's way too new. If they make Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, if they make a good movie following the source material,
how about just Zelda?
That'll be great.
Okay, so in development without a release date, Call of Duty.
Yep, we've already discussed that one.
Let's see, Bendy and the Ink Machine, Call of Duty, Claire Obscure Expedition, Comic Zone, Untitled Crossfire film, Fireball, Days Gone,
I've heard
Death Stranding,
Death Stranding,
Dead by Daylight, Dredge, Duke Nukem.
Ooh, Duke Nukem?
Duke Nukem.
Oh, that's a game
El Paso, Elsewhere, Elden Ring, which kind of makes sense because they're seeing the success that they're getting with the Fallout TV show. External Champions, Fear, Firewatch, Five Nights at Freddy's 3, Ghost of Tsushima, Gravity Rush, Helldivers, Hello Neighbor the movie, Horizon Zero Dawn, The House of the Dead, Jack and Dexter, Just Cause, Just Dance film. What the fuck? Kingmakers, The Medium, Metal Gear, another Minecraft movie, Outlast, On the Run, Pac-Man, Pokemon Detective Pikachu, Poppy Time, Portal Film, Rabbids, Rider,
Go back. Poppy Playtime?
Poppy Playtime.
Oh
Yes.
my god, that one's gonna be great. That is a great horror movie or horror game. I want to see what they're gonna do with that one.
Saints Row,
Okay.
Space Channel 5, Space Invaders, Streets of Rage, Talking Tom, Tom Clancy, Ghost Recon, Vampire Survivors.
Okay. So there are a couple games in there that you named that would be great if they created their own material, but there are others in there that they need to follow the source material. Like you said, Ghost Recon Wildlands. Or if they could make a movie off of Ghost Recon Wildlands or Breakpoint. Follow the source material to that because there's a lot there they could deal with. Talking about Five Nights at Freddy's, I like the way that they're going with it. The source material for Five Nights at Freddy's has already been kind of moviefied within the game. They can make their own adaptation to that. That's fine. Dead by Daylight. It's supposed to be like I don't know if you know what Dead by Daylight is, but it's kind of like you have to find all the generators and start the generators before the killer kills you and escape. But there are so many different killers that have their own lore in there that they could do great without. They could bring the killers in, follow the source material for the killers, but they could do something great with that. Poppy Playtime, they should follow the source material on that. Even though that's already been kind of moviefied through the game, that'd be something that they need to follow. Helldivers, I'm going to tell you right now, Helldivers movie is going to be Starship Troopers. It's going to be Starship Troopers 2, pretty much.
You mean 3?
3.
Or 4?
3. Okay. Um, Call of
I
Duty.
mean, that's when the first time I played Helldivers, I said that's exactly what I said. It's
if
like Starship Troopers in video game form.
If you play against the bugs in Helldivers, it's Starship Troopers the game before they came out with the game.
They didn't.
Okay,
Yeah, they did.
decent.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, it sucked balls.
What's the next topic? I'm looking for next topic.
Kitty went through a bunch of things,
All right, let's move on.
Okay, but yeah, there are games that yeah. All right, so we talked about that. Let me. Well, Kitty, you're currently in college. You went back to school to kind of learn how to do some programming.
Oh, for fuck's sakes, I know what this is.
On this podcast, what do you think about the history of GTA class that has been created at the University of Tennessee?
Okay, so I mean,
let me pull it says, hold on. The University of Tennessee will offer the world's first GTA history class in January 2026. Quote, Grand Theft America U.S. history since 1980 through the GTA video games will be taught by Professor Tor Olson, who previously taught a similar class using Red Dead Redemption.
First of all, clearly the professor's a nerd. 1.
Obviously. Great. I love it.
2, I mean, it depends. I would need more information, especially being an IT major. Are they going through like you guys were cutting out because God's father was laughing too hard. So 2 of you guys coming in, you guys you beat the microphone up a little too hard.
Okay, so this is my source.
I mean, if you want to look at it as the history of coding, if that's what they're doing, the history of video games and how they melted. But if he's actually teaching, okay, so
here's
backstory. Hold on, backstory has to be told a little bit more about me. I do have my degree in political science and history, albeit not a U.S. history. I'm talking early world history, but I did dabble in U.S. history, and I have held my history buff father handed me a primary document just the other day, so it runs deep. So if they are actually teaching a history course, what the hell is this course supposed to be about then?
Well, this. I've got a direct quote from the professor himself because they had an IGN had an
Oh
interview with
Lord,
them.
yes.
IGN said with this question, "What is the basic idea behind this class?" Tor Olson. Video games are a great conjuring fictional worlds, but they also impact players thinking about the real world times and places. And just as Red Dead Redemption 2 has shaped folks' perception of the 19th century American West or Ghost of Tsushima have informed their vision of the feudal Japan, millions of people around the globe imagine contemporary America through the lens of Grand Theft Auto franchise. Just to think how many GTA veterans have recognized landmarks in Los Angeles, New York City, and to their hours in Los Santos and Liberty City. In my class, I take serious GTA's fictional representations of the United States, its characters, its urban and rural landscapes, and its storylines, and I use that world as a framing device for a serious history class that examines what's actually taken place in the United States over the last half century. The class is much more about American history than the games themselves, but GTA provides the framework that structures our exploration of the past. My hope is that after the class, students will never look at these games or modern America the same again.
Well,
Okay, no, actually, I kind of like the concept, and I like where he's going with it. And this was, if I did go into teaching, this might have been something that I may have picked up on and pulled my own. You have to understand the culture of the student that is coming through college now. The culture of this, I mean, I am a millennial. I am definitely old as hell. Um, the degrees that I have, I hate, I can't do anything with, so I went back to school.
Mm-hmm.
I'm basically making next what is now minimum wage with degrees. And I just was not okay with that because let me guess. Let me tell you something. History will get you nowhere. Poli sci will make you a fuck ton of money, but there's a chance you're going to die with it. And that was back in 2020 when I left the field. Not
so
now.
the reason why I'm laughing, I got to give context. That
Okay.
90s show. Just started watching it. What is the one thing that is one of the biggest comedical lines in there? When Foreman comes back and says how he is a professor still, an adjunct professor with his own parking spot because he's been teaching classes on Star Wars. That's where I started getting my chuckles from.
So, it's all about engaging the student. And engaging the student now it looks much different than it did in the 90s. And he's
Okay.
teaching about Star Wars. And that's, that during that time frame is when 1, 2, and 3 came out. I mean,
4,
so
5, 6.
it's,
No.
or, no, 1, 2, 3.
1,
4, it
2,
was the prequels.
1, 2,
4, 5, and 6 came out in the 70s. 1, 2,
didn't
3 came
You
out.
don't know
1 didn't
everything,
come out
Fireball.
until 99.
And that's still the 90s.
Oh, fair. 2 didn't come out until like 2000, 2001, and 3 didn't come out until 2003.
Okay, but let me ask you a question. Do you know the culture of the time before you were born?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out too.
Do you know how hyped these movies were from like 95 on?
Oh yeah, I can probably
I mean,
imagine.
yeah, you can't imagine. You don't know. So actually what they're talking about in that 90s show about him teaching classes about Star Wars, teaching history through Star Wars and doing stuff about Star Wars would have been incredibly informative and a great way to bond with the student.
Yep.
And that is where you don't understand, like, I mean, this professor is trying to break stereotypes.
Mm-hmm.
He is trying to take the and let's be honest, if you want to talk racism and stereotypical crap, look at video games. They are some of the racist, most
We said we
stereotypical
were gonna
things
go
that you
until
could go
we
do.
were done.
Hmm?
We said we were gonna go until we were done.
No, not that.
Oh.
What's the next topic?
Oh.
No, I'm not done yet.
Oh Lord.
Come on,
So
Kitty.
you baited me, you dumb.
No,
Nah,
we're going to the next topic.
Come on.
nope. I got
Finish-
baited. You're gonna let me
No.
finish.
Finish
No.
your thought, and then we're moving forward. Finish your thought.
Move into the camera. Thank you.
Finish your
So,
thought, and we're moving forward.
so what he's doing and trying to connect with a student and trying to bring history and break stereotypes and do all that, I think it's phenomenal. You see the Grand Theft Auto universe, and you walk in and you're doing all this stuff and you are in the city. But is that the way the cities were? Is that what's going on now? In some respects, yes. In some respects, no. But it's breaking stereotypes, because if you're looking at Tennessee, right?
Yeah, University of Tennessee.
Knoxville, I'm assuming.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay, so the University of Tennessee, Knoxville, is pretty much in the Appalachian Mountains.
Yep.
It is a highly conservative university in the South, where stereotypes are raging about the West, right? So you've got all of these all these things going on in Los Angeles. They see snippets of news about things going on in Los Angeles, and they're able. And that teacher is now saying, "This is what you see, but this is only a part of it. This is what happened."
All right.
And
Well,
he's able to. And no, it's a fantastic model. It is a fantastic model, and I wish more professors would figure it out.
on that note, I do have a gripe with Godfather because he forgot to do it, and I still will bring it up.
Right.
When you were out in LA, what is the one thing I told you needed to do?
And I did it.
You did? How
Yeah.
come I haven't seen the pictures? You were supposed to show us the pictures
Of
so
what?
that way you were supposed to take pictures of you in front of special
Oh,
landmarks.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
There's
he
a
you
reason
were
couldn't.
why.
He
supposed to
could take.
recreate them in GTA.
There's a reason why.
No Hollywood sign, no
There's a reason why.
He didn't
I
have
wasn't
time.
there to do that.
I know, but
I mean, you got to
I still
remember,
like to
he
give
was working.
I know, but I still like to give him
He
hell
was
on it.
working 90 hours a week while he was out there. However, he did get some pictures. But it's the area that
Alright.
he was in and the area that you were wanting him to photograph, unless he had somebody he could trust with him, it's not tourist friendly. It was not any good. I mean, you have to remember, he was in a natural disaster zone.
Okay.
So
Well,
it's not something where he could have held his phone and said, "Hey,
moving
hey,
forward.
hey, hey, take a picture."
Moving forward. Okay. So this one will be a quick one, I hope.
Yeah, okay.
So you played Assassin's Creed, right, Godfather?
Yep.
What was the biggest thing you hated about Black Flag?
Couldn't take over another ship.
Okay, your second thing you hated the most. Outside of the actual game.
I don't know what.
Remember when you got unplugged from the Animus and they made you do those little side quests before?
Oh, yeah.
They are taking those out of the remake.
Oh, okay.
So now
Still not playing it, but okay.
it's going to be one full game instead of making you unplug, go do these like real world quests, and then have to plug back in.
All right, well.
So yeah, they're taking him out, and a lot of gamers are happy about that.
I'm sure they are. Assassin's Creed's like the king of cinematics.
So talking, because Godfather was really looking for, because it was like, did you make sure you had this on one of the talking points?
Oh, here we go.
Yes, I did. Sonic Racing's Cross Worlds. Is it going to be a direct competitor? Do you think it's going to be a direct competitor to Mario Kart?
Yes, absolutely. Some of the names that they've brought out saying that they are going to have as characters, absolutely, they are
Who
going
they
to
license as characters?
Do you realize? Do you know when it drops?
No.
Tomorrow.
Oh well.
What's the name of the game?
Sonic Racing's Crossword. Yeah, Sonic Racing Crosswords.
Pac-Man was one. Oh, SpongeBob was another one. You got, of course, all the Sonic characters. If you were to go back and watch, I believe it's last.
Here's the official.
Hold on. Cut me off, son of a bitch. Now, if you go back and watch Talking Tuesday, I reported on all of it. And all of my thoughts on it, unfettered, are there. You're kind of getting secondhand right here. But what is the entire character list?
So you've got Minecraft Steve and Minecraft Alex.
Yep.
Minecraft Creeper.
Yep.
SpongeBob and Patrick.
Yep.
Pac-Man and the Pac-Man Ghosts.
Yep. Got a couple Final Fantasy characters in there too, I think.
Hatsune Miku, Joker, and
Yep.
Ichiban
Yep.
Kasuga. And then the main characters as follows: Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Cream and Cheese, Big, Silver, Blaze, Shadow, Rogue, Omega, Vector, Espiel, Charmy, Zavok, Jazz, Dr. Eggman, Metal Sonic, Eggpon, Sage, Jet, Wave, Storm. Season Pass Sonic Prime Racers, 9 Dread and Ruby Rose, and then the bonus racer, which I am so like that they are acknowledging this because this was a game that I grew up on. The Werehog from Sonic Unleashed.
Yes. Now, let's get into the nuts and bolts of this, shall we? What was the one thing?
Or it's not just
No.
Nintendo Switch.
No.
Let's go. I might have to get that.
Okay. Okay. Fireball.
That's what's gonna make it better than the Switch, is because the Switch lost a lot with having
I
the
think you're
newest
stealing
games
Godfather's
only on
thunder.
Switch 2. So I think that they're going to be bringing up a whole
Kitty,
lot.
kitty,
My biggest
kitty,
thing is
kitty,
Fireball.
kitty, kitty,
Would
kitty,
you be willing
kitty,
to bring your sim out and let's race that way?
kitty. Let us.
Yeah.
Godfather's gonna frickin' explode. We need to let him talk. Go, Godfather. Oh, he's got nothing to say. Let's move.
Yeah, so I do absolutely think that this, because it is across all platforms,
I think he
not
broke his
PC
chair.
though.
He broke his chair from slapping it because we wouldn't let him talk. Go, Godfather.
No.
Godfather just walked off. Okay,
So
now
I'm not sure if it has been well.
he's like he was stormed off. He's like, I gotta take a minute. He's like, no, because if I don't, I'm not gonna be able to say it. I'm coming.
Okay, so now I'm a little bit more pissed off that my chair broke. And I wasn't even slapping it that hard. No, so what is the one thing that we asked Nintendo to fix for the Switch 2?
Make it crossplay.
Exactly. Make it crossplay. Make it to where we could stream these games on the internet. Did they do that?
No. Ooh.
Absolutely not. So, as like I was talking about on Talking Tuesday, was Sega came out and said, "Okay, Nintendo, you didn't fix anything that these players wanted." So, without stepping on their copyright, because remember, Nintendo cannot copyright a kart racing game. They can't copyright all the mechanics.
Right.
They can copyright just what's for Nintendo. So Sonic has now come in, and Sonic and the whole thing with it was, is this a '90s beef being reborn? The
I was
answer
gonna
is
say
yes.
yes.
Well, and
Yes.
this is the other thing, and this is what kind of shot Nintendo in the foot with this whole copy. They can't copyright. They can't pretty much copyright the kart racing games. They tried copywriting, saying they tried making a patent saying that you cannot make a game that has the same mechanics as catching a creature and then using that creature to fight. That was the lawsuit that they tried creating to go after Power World, and the judge that they got basically looked at him and said, "Are you kidding me?"
No, he gave it to him.
Oh, he did?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. That's something else that I talked about on Talking Tuesday. See, Nintendo last week was a very newsworthy week for Nintendo. They came out with that patent. And one of the questions that the industry experts are asking right now are, hey, are they setting up Power World to sue them stateside? They're already suing them in Tokyo. Are they going to sue them stateside? Now you got Sega coming in, and you got Sega making a kart racing game, and they're making it multi-platform. They're making it to where people can stream it. They're including everybody. And then you got the Switch 2 sitting over here with Mario World. Now, full disclosure, I love Mario Kart. I think that game is awesome. However, it has a lot of downfalls too. And I was really hoping that Mario World and the Switch 2, Nintendo would correct it. Nintendo did not. They absolutely did not.
I think where Nintendo's going to superbly lose on this one is, Switch. The Switch 2, the Switch isn't that old. And they've already came out with a Switch 2.
No,
And the Switch 2 is hella expensive.
Yeah.
The Switch 2 is new. They have already given exclusivity to the new Mario Kart game to only Switch 2, forcing the Mario Kart lovers to buy a Switch. Now I looked at Godfather and I told him where to go fly a kite when he's like, I want a Switch, I want a new Mario game. I'm not spending that kind of money. I'm not spending $600 to play a game. And then the game being $100 on top of that. I am not paying $700 for one game.
Well,
because let's be honest, you are going to play one game on that Switch too.
Well, and I will say this. You're talking about how the original Switch is not that old. The original Switch came out in 2017.
Isn't it?
Okay.
What is the normal life cycle for a console? Roughly 6 years? I mean, hell, Xbox and PlayStation are already talking about their next gen consoles, and those consoles came out in what, 2020?
Okay, I see what you're saying. It just seems like Nintendo's success bases off of the fact of Mario, and that is it, Mario and Zelda. They have, they don't have a loyalty base like PlayStation and Xbox do. People buy the Mario stuff. People buy Nintendo stuff so they can play Mario, so they can relive their childhood. And the reliving of a childhood of a Gen Xer like Godfather or a millennial like myself is what brought. But even then, they lost us for such a long time that they're trying to get us back by releasing nostalgic stuff, by getting us back into Mario Kart, by doing this. And this will absolutely hurt Nintendo because if people don't have to spend hundreds of dollars to get a single video game, they're not going to.
Well, and that's the thing we talked about a very long time ago when we were talking about the health and well-being of certain consoles and current gaming companies. Sony has righted themselves a lot with they're not necessarily on an island anymore because they've started sharing uh their exclusives with Xbox. Nintendo has put themselves directly pretty much in the middle of nowhere on an island by themselves, secluded themselves because they are trying to stay relevant with their games. I guarantee you, if if Nintendo allowed Mario Kart World and other Nintendo games to go cross-platform, they would lose a bunch of their player base because they would rather play those games on the consoles that they already own.
Yes, I concur. But then again, looking at it from How many people do you think that they would pick up because they just don't buy the Switch or the Switch 2? I have no interest in bringing a Switch 2 into this.
No, I don't.
Especially if the Sonic...
With how predatory Nintendo has been with the launch of the Switch 2 and with everything surrounding the Switch 2, I don't want a Switch 2 at all until they change their end user licensing agreement. They did so much to damage their own reputation, especially when it came to people wanting to buy, aftermarket products, like they wanted aftermarket Joy-Cons or they wanted something cool to go with their Switch 2. And Nintendo looked at them and said, no, you have to buy our licensed stuff so that way your money still comes back to us. We don't want you spending your money on a third party. We want your money. So they went on and they said, if you are caught using anything else, we have the right. You don't own your Switch 2. We have the right to turn off your Switch 2 to where you cannot use it.
But you also have to remember the culture of Nintendo was was for lack of better, it was the first major video game company. It came before Sony, it came before Xbox, and its competitor was Sonic, or
Sega.
Sega Genesis. And I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed Sega so much more than I enjoyed a Nintendo. I loved my Game Boy though, but if I remember correctly, and you're also talking about when I was a child, so I didn't. I
The
believe
80s, 90s, yeah.
right. I believe that a Sega was more expensive than a Nintendo, significantly,
Yeah. Yep.
and that is where Sega fell off, is they didn't price it near the Nintendo. And I mean, for you to have a Sega, it was like, oh my god, you have a Sega? But you also have to look at the fact that Nintendo has yet to step away from the boomer culture.
But again, this is and this is the reason why. And Godfather and I have gone off camera talking about this a ton. So now that he's back, he's gonna want to jump in. Nintendo is so secluded right now because they are still siphoning off of the loyal customer base that they have that will lick the bottom of their boot to buy a new Switch 2, to buy all the games that they've got there.
Nope.
No, I don't. I think you have seen a lot of that fall off, and I think you're going to see even more of that fall off because the Switch 2 has turned off so many legacy Mario people. I mean, you're going to see so much drop because they don't want it.
Here's the thing: Nintendo is the game console for parents for little kids.
Yes.
That's their moneymaker right
100%.
there. Right there, that's their
But,
moneymaker. And that
but
is why
they're
Nintendo
losing their original crowd. They're losing their Gen X and millennials that don't have kids, save for, the ones in the place that you and I are in, Godfather, where they don't have to have that child's game anymore. When is the last time you turned the Switch on?
it's been months.
Okay, so we have a whole ass game console literally collecting dust. Now let me ask you this question. When's the last time the Xbox was turned on?
This morning.
Not by me.
Not by me or you?
Yeah.
Months. I
But
mainly
regardless,
PC.
no, see, I am not. Will there be games that I'll play on PC? Yes. I am also an artist, a digital artist, as a hobby. So I have all Apple products, which, if you know anything about Apple, they don't game well. And so I am a console person. So my PS5 has been turned on since before the Switch. And to be honest, I think the last time the Switch was played was not even for a Nintendo product.
No, it wasn't.
The last time the Switch was played was to play Civ 6.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason why it's on the Nintendo and not anything else is because we got it for $2.99.
Yep.
Right before they released the newest Civilization.
The biggest thing about Nintendo, and the reason why they have
What the hell?
the reason why they have survived as long as they have.
Oh, I know what's going on.
Would you stop yelling?
Sorry. I figured out why.
Okay. Well, either way,
Okay.
the reason why that they are surviving by being on that island is because they cater for families. They cater for kids. Where PlayStation, Xbox, and the PC, they don't cater for just kids. That's why.
So here's the
Okay.
reason why Nintendo is still valid. Not only do they cater to kids, but it's a handheld system. You don't need a backbone. You don't need any secondary device. You don't need to log in anywhere. It is a handheld device. So these parents, instead of buying an iPad or doing whatever, they can have iPads too, but they have the opportunity to say, "We're leaving. Grab your Switch." They have the ability to move their favorite games. So
we
if
haven't
you
had this
introduce
conversation with
them,
Kitty.
to the Switch, then not only are you going to have a way to babysit them on the TV, but you're going to have a way to babysit them in the car.
So have you heard about Xbox's new console?
Yes.
It is a handheld, and it is being partnered with
It's still not going to put a dent in Nintendo.
ROG Asus.
It's not going to put a dent in Nintendo. Not at all.
I mean, if you really want to have this conversation, you also
Yeah,
Wheezy, come on, dude. I can't hug on you.
We got to keep moving forward, though. I mean,
Okay, go. What's next?
No, you're gonna let me finish.
Yeah,
I'm trying to build the dog. But you also have, not only are you have that one, but you also have the Steam Deck. You also have multiple different handheld devices, but yet still they cater to the biggest thing that they have is the graphics and everything for Nintendo are childlike based. Kirby, you have
Kirby, Animal Crossing, Sonic,
Animal Crossing,
Mario.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You have all of these things, and they're more geared towards kids.
I think he wants to.
You can have Minecraft. You can have, if the developers for Sony and PlayStation and everybody else stopped letting their stuff go to, if they put Nintendo on an island and made their consoles only Nintendo based games, then you would see a lot more people walking away, and you would see that the Steam Deck would be more popular. The Xbox handheld would be more popular. All the rest of the handhelds would be more popular, especially if you took Minecraft away from it. You give a kid Minecraft and Mario Kart, and you're set for you're set. You're set. You're set.
Did you give the cat a snack? Is that why he's on your desk?
The cat just comes on my desk for snack no matter what anymore.
Okay. Well,
But
moving on.
yeah,
The
cat.
We've got about 3 left before
Rapid fire them. Let's go.
All right. So Battlefield 6 crossplay.
We already talked about it.
Battlefield 6 comes out within this week or next week. A quote from. Oh,
I guess we're not going rapid fire.
This is going to be a rapid fire, but we also on the part of this podcast we talk about it. So Battlefield 6 will let players toggle crossplay on and off, as they say they cannot promise that there will be zero cheaters amongst the PC players. So I like I like the fact that they're giving, instead of keeping it on like some games do, like you have to have crossplay on in order to be able to play. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to populate your lobbies. I like the fact that they're going to give you the option to turn it off and on, because they know how bad the cheaters are on PC.
Okay.
Moving forward with that. Anybody have anything to say about that?
Nope.
All right. There is another leak out there, I believe, with Insomnia Studios, the creators that made Spider-Man, the Spider-Man games for PlayStation, that there's going to be a Venom game as well.
Yeah, I've seen the same thing.
Which if Insomnia is making it with how good they did Spider-Man, I'm excited to see that, because they not only do they have Venom, they're working on a Wolverine one as well.
Yeah, I heard about that too. I saw artwork for it. It looks pretty good.
So I'm really excited to see what Insomnia does with that. And I don't think it's going to be exclusive. I think they're going to allow it to be on all platforms.
Okay.
Last but not least, it's a Pokemon game. Ditto is getting its very first standalone game.
Who?
Ditto.
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 Okay.
He's getting his very first standalone. She, whatever.
Oh, this is what they announced on Nintendo Direct and pissed off the entire Pokemon community.
The little blob Pokemon that can transform into, they're getting its own standalone.
Yeah, he's getting drummed right now, but it's kind of falling flat on the community.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all we got. That's all we got.
I think we're done
this week.
Yeah,
Um,
it's been a great week.
yeah, I mean, there really hasn't been much to talk about news wise.
No, no,
Last week, and we do apologize. We weren't around for last week. We were making the final push for the studio, and as you can see, we're moved in now. So hopefully, we won't really have any more cuts unless life gets busy.
no. Saturdays at noon. This week was just a little different, but hey, fire. Actually, hey, sweet kitty, you want to go ahead and take us out with your final thoughts?
No.
No, you don't want to. You have no final thoughts. All right, fireball.
Um, so I'm gonna start trying to stream again. I really do apologize. The last week and a half, my mouse died, and all the games that I had lined up ready to go to play, I needed a mouse to play. So I couldn't do anything like that. Um, Moving forward, I'm going to try to download a couple more games on. Maybe I'll bring you guys along so you guys can see what I'm doing in Stardew. Um, Maybe I might do a crowd control playthrough of Stardew, so where you guys can interrupt me, do whatever, spawn monsters on me, damage me, give me items in the game. But oh, that's a fly. But I don't really have anything else. Today was a good episode, and take it over to Godfather.
Alrighty, so today I got a few things to do. I'm still moving some stuff out of my personal office into the Shire, so that's going to take up a good majority of my day today. I don't think I'll be streaming. Uh, Tomorrow, Monday, I'm going to try and get out here and I'm going to try and stream my normal time, 7 to 9. And then I've got Talking Tuesday coming at you at 7 p.m. All the major platforms are involved. I have a question out there for you guys out in TikTok land. Go over to Godfather, answer that question for me. Other than that, that's all I got for this week. So,
Well, thank you guys for watching Nomad Gamers podcast. I know we probably went way over on time,
yeah,
but with us moving forward, and I think we just briefly grazed on this. We are going to be moving forward away from our like 1 hour long episodes and talking about what we have for this week.
yep,
So we don't cut ourselves off on everything that is happening news wise in the gaming world. And I hope you guys really do enjoy that because as everybody that has followed us through what we've done with the Nomad Gamers, first it went to talking about certain games, then it went to we're doing gaming news every 2 weeks to now we're doing gaming news every 1 week with just an hour long video, and now we want to bring you everything we got and everything we saw. We want to know your guys' opinions that come with it. So if you have anything you want us to talk about or want to bring to uh, our attention, if you are not in our Discord, you guys can join our Discord. We'll have a news. We'll make a channel just for news, so you guys
we
can.
will.
Yeah, it'll be easy to
Put
make.
it in chat.
Yeah,
It's too easy.
you can put a link down in the chat and be like, "Hey, look, uh, this voice
Okay,
actor got in trouble and they're replacing this voice actor or
okay.
whatever." But
Sign off.
with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Talk to you later.
Peace and love. God's Father's out the door.